ever wonder why professional sports people are better than we are at sport? It's probably practice, but it might not be as easy as that. So let's have a look at what we are going to see today, which is all about information processing. So if you are new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe. I'm Rich from Planet PE, and every week you will see GCSE PE videos from me. If you already subscribed, make sure you click that bell so that you don't miss any information or any uploads that I do. Now, if you are new and if you've not seen this before, have a look in the description below. I've done a revision checklist that you guys can access, and on there it's going to have all the different content that is in the AQA exam, but also it's then got a link to each of the videos that I do, so you can use me to try and help you through your revision. So let's get cracking on this idea of information processing. So in our basic information processing model, there are 4 different elements. There is the input, there is the decision making, there's the output, and then the feedback. So let's break each part up so we get to understand it a little bit better. So the input is all of the information that you are receiving from your senses. So the things that you hear, the things that you see, the things that you maybe feel, the lots and lots of different information. So all of that information. Now we call that the display. So all that information that comes through your senses enters you through the display. Now, lots and lots of things that you will see in sport don't really matter, and you actually get rid of that information. So if we have a look at someone who's going to be playing maybe football, the grass is green, the lines are white, the ball's white, there's people on the crowd, there's loads of different noise. Some of it matters and some of it doesn't. So let's imagine that the ball's been crossed and it's in the air. We've got to think about how fast the ball is traveling, how much spin is on the ball, where is it going to land, has it been affected by the wind, is there anybody else around me? Lots and lots of decisions. Now in this input stage, we use something called selective attention. So what selective attention really is that we get rid of all the irrelevant information. So we don't care about the advertising boards. We're not really worried that there's a crowd. We're not worried that someone sneezed in the crowd. All of that information we might have heard, but it's not important to us. So we just get rid of it. So therefore we're not distracted. So this term selective attention is really, really key, and what probably is the biggest difference between us and those people who are really, really good at sport. So we will often maybe take longer to go and process the information from our senses. So the ball's coming over and it might take you slightly longer to pick up the flight of the ball. It might take you slightly longer to realise that maybe the ball's starting to dip, so therefore you've got to, at some point, move along the way. So professional sports people do that really quick because they're really, really experienced. So they might realise that the ball has maybe taken a deflection. They might realise that the position of somebody's body wasn't quite right, so therefore it might come in lower, it might come in higher. So all of those things are going to happen really, really quickly. So that first stage is purely about the information we receive and keeping some that matters and getting rid of some that doesn't. That then takes us into the decision-making stage. So based on all that information, we're going to make a choice about what kind of skill we're going to do. So if you think about your phones, you're probably flicking through and you're picking a song. So you've got all of those different songs that you could pick, and you're going to go, oh, I'm going to choose that one, and that's the one you're going to play. We do that when we play sport. So we've got all this information. I've seen that the ball's starting to drop. I'm going to go, well, I could volley it, I could go for a diving header, I'm going to go for the diving header. So that's the decision that's been made in a split second, in a really, really quick moment. And the more experienced you are, the quicker you can maybe make the right decision, or you can make the decision based on the information. If you're a novice, you're maybe taking longer to process the information and then make a decision. And that's probably why a novice, so someone who's new at the sport, probably makes more incorrect decisions, because they're learning, they're not used to it. So therefore, maybe the ones that happen quicker from somebody who's an expert, it's because they spend less time thinking about it, and it's more that I've done this before, I've seen that before, I can use that input, I've seen this, so therefore my decision that I'm going to make is really, really quick. The third point of the diagram is the output, and this is simply you just doing the skill. So I've seen the ball fly, I've tracked it, I've seen that it's dropping, I'm still going to commit to a header, but I'm going to dive, and it's then me actually doing the diving header. So the input is purely about the information that's coming to you, including getting rid of some information that doesn't matter. You've then got the decision-making element, and then the output, which is doing the skill. Now, for me to understand if that skill was successful or not, I need some sort of feedback. And that's the fourth part. So I've completed the skill, there's some feedback. How did it feel? Did I see the ball going where I wanted it to go? Did I feel that it hit me in the correct part of the head? Did I even miss it completely? And that feedback's going to go back into the input. So therefore, I can then make a new decision, make a new output. So in sport, there might be times where you can actually change your decision. So I played a lot of cricket in my time, and let's say that I was batting, and I realised that somebody was bowling and they've bowled a slower ball. So maybe instead of it coming out the hand like this, it's going to come out like that. I might have been committed to my shot, and I've had a bit of time to change my mind based on the feedback. So I might have made a decision, I'm doing the output, oh, that's not what I thought it was, new input, new decisions were made, and I might change my shot. So very similar to, let's say I'm playing football, someone does a step over, I've realised it's a step over, so I change what I'm going to do. And these are the things that happen quicker the more experienced you are. So this input, decision making, output, and then the feedback. Now the feedback's going to come in lots of different ways, and we'll look at that in a different video. But all we're looking at there is that simple information processing model. So what I want to show you very quickly is a bit of a clip about Ronaldo. So we'll watch this together. We seem to see lots of these different reaction videos, and we'll see how that goes. So if we just watch that one together, let's see how Ronaldo can react or not react when he can't actually see the ball in the air. So in the video we've got down here, there's Cristiano Ronaldo waiting to receive the ball. So what they do is that the ball is going to be crossed and the light will go out. Now, we'll talk about how that fits into the information processing model as this goes. So if we just watch this video, so as it goes over, we've got Ronaldo, the ball is being crossed, and during the flight, the lights go out. So during the flight, he can't see what's going on, but he's already made a decision about what he's going to do. So as the ball comes over, he's moving, the ball is still in flight, but he can't see it. Now, because he's already looked at the position maybe of the foot, the hip, the body position generally of the person who's crossing the ball, he can already determine where the ball's going to go in its flight. So therefore, even though he can't see it, he's then already made the decision, and his output is the same. So he doesn't need to see the whole flight of the ball because of his experience. So as we keep playing it, you'll see that as he heads the ball, it goes in. Okay, they bring the lights back open again, and we go from there. Now, in the second one, they start the ball, they make it dark at a different time, so he's not seeing as much of the flight. So as it gets crossed, so we stop it there, gets crossed, he's then making his decision, and then he's trying to guess what is going on. So as the ball just comes in, it bounces slightly in front of him, but he's still able to score. But he can't see the ball. So how is he able to do that? Well, quite simply, his input and his ability to look at what's relevant and what's irrelevant is amazing. And this is what makes him really, really good at what he does. So he's looked at not so much what the ball's doing, but what the position of the crosser is doing. Now, because of that, it means that he can guess, essentially, where the ball would be. But it's not really a guess. Because he's experienced, he's able to go back to his long-term memory and go, I've seen that flight, I've got an idea of where that's going to be, I'm going to make the right decision, and then pick his output, which as you see is a little half volley, and it tends to go in. So that is the real difference. Now, he is getting some feedback there. So he knows how it's felt. Well, how does he know it's gone in? Well, he's getting some feedback from the sound of the ball hitting the net. He's getting some feedback from the feel of the ball. He's getting the feedback from, I've done this position before and the ball tends to end up there when I do that. So therefore that should happen, that kinesthetic feel. The lights go up, he can then see that it's gone in, so more feedback. So that means that that would go into the brain, go into the long-term memory to go, if I do this, that's the reaction I'm gonna have. So again, as we see him at the end, the ball goes from there, and fantastically, when it goes into the light, it's another goal. So in this third one, they actually stop the light as the ball's being kicked. So he doesn't see any of the flight. So if we again just have a look at here, so we just stop it at that point, and the ball is being hit, and then it gets dark. So as it comes in, has he scored? Has he not scored? Ooh, let's have a look. It went in. So when we've got that, it just shows you how much information that he's taken on, and the ball is almost irrelevant for him because his input and his selective attention are so good that he's able to then pick the right decision based on the flight of the ball that he's not seeing, so therefore based on the position of the person's foot and their hips, which is just ridiculous to think someone can do that. He then selects his skill, does it, and then the feedback instantly for him is that he can hear that there's been a goal. So if you think about, I want to be a professional footballer and I want to be one of the greatest footballers in the world like Cristiano Ronaldo, it's going to take a lot of practice, because for you to get to that point, it means that you're going to have to make a lot of errors. So that pretty much is us for information processing. There's that little video to help you. If you want to see the full video, I will put the link in the description. And if you are new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe. If you already subscribed, click that bell so that you don't miss any of the notifications for when I upload. And generally, it is Thursdays when I upload. If you think there'd be a better day for me to do that, again, put it in the comments. If you've got any mocks coming up, then again, put in the comment and I will look at doing a live session like I did last year. God, it's 2020, guys. Did it last year. And again, please support the channel and share if you would like to. Now, the other thing that I have done is that I've also put a link into the description of a piece of work that I did that is basically a revision checklist for you that you could use. So again, I said it at the start of the video, so I will repeat it again. Have a look in the description below. It's basically a checklist for your revision and also a bit of a playlist so you can click the right videos so you can watch me talking to you about those different topics so that you can get better at GCSE PE. Whew, that's a lot. It's 2020, first video of the year, done, brilliant. See you next week.